What's up YouTubers? It's time for our delayed 15 random anime video. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am to get finally back into this. It feels like I've left my child behind. I don't know why, but it feels that way. And we're making it special. We're bringing back some anime we've already ranked because opinions might have changed. Maybe because of other seasons, or maybe because of a new movie. But of course we can't do this without our faithful friend who's been with us for the past few ones. So, Ironzaku, are you ready?
I'm ready for round 3.
But I think this is the third one. I think we need a third friend to join in to help us. So, Hawthorne, introduce yourself.
Hi.
He's scared. Are you that
Sorry,
scared?
I kind of froze.
You kind of froze.
Yeah, well, this is my first time doing it with you. Oh, that sounds wrong. This is my first time recording one of these with yous.
Alright, so you have seen our previous two videos. You know how chaotic it gets, so it's understandable.
Trust me, Hawthorne, as soon as the real topic kicks off, it's going to get further into more madness, I can promise you that.
Okay, I am going to preface this by saying, just from the looks of it, I have not seen a vast majority of these, but some I have seen.
So, while you try and get your breath, let's go over the rules quickly for those who have not seen these videos before and is wondering, how is this going to go? Well, first of all, when it comes to a lot of these animes, they've either got season 2s or side pieces or side series that usually link into that. So when we're ranking these animes, we're thinking of mainly the majority of the anime. So we're thinking if they've got a season 2 and it links very well or it continues on the story, we're adding it in. However, if they are series that are usually seen as their own media, we'll leave that part separate. Take for example the Pokemon series. Even though it is one long continuous story, a lot of people see it as just separate stories. So the Kanto story, the Orange Island stories, the Johto stories, and etc. If we get Pokemon, we look at those individual parts. But stuff that is literally meant to be separate, like Yu-Gi-Oh! To Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, we'll be seeing them separately. But say something like One Punch Man to One Punch Man Season 2, hint, hint, we'll be looking at an overall whole. So let's get into the ranks. First of all, Masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. We see no fault with it. We want to keep watching this over and over again. We enjoy it. Nothing it can do is wrong, so we're going to smack it in there. Amazing! We may see some fault with it, but we still hold it in very high regards. Good? We say it's good. No, there is fault in it, but it's still good. Watchable. Something that doesn't really come into our heads that often, but we say it's at least watchable. And finally, never again. Self-explanatory. Never again. We don't want it in our lives. Get it out of here.
And I can remember that one time it was used for that one notorious stinker a long time ago.
For obvious reasons. So with that out of the way, you two ready?
Yeah.
I'm fired up and ready to go.
Alright, because we're going to start off with something from the year 2000, Maid May.
Now, I'll be honest, I've never seen this one, and I can imagine Hawthorne is like, what is this?
Alright, so first of all, Maid May. The series rolls around a hand-sized maid. Literally a little woman you can put in your hand.
Okay.
A literal handmaid.
It's in the title!
Just like a little cutesy maid in the palm of your hand to put in your pocket. I mean, what more is there to describe?
Let's go over the synopsis of the story. Our main character, whose name I can't remember, he's studying computer technology, so like coding and all that, and one day gets a virus from his friend, I'm saying that quotation marks because it's a bully who pretends to be a friend, that accidentally makes him buy a robotic maid. and accidentally fiddled with the setting so much that it's a hand-sized maid. So she's tiny. She fits on your desk. She's basically your realistic robotic action figure.
And I'm going to imagine that this little handmaiden does quite a lot throughout the series.
The story literally revolves around her. And of course, you imagine he's made some payments towards this as well, so he's emptied out his bank account from this thanks to the virus. No. So he has to try and keep hold of his mate, who he started to really enjoy having around in his life for free until she gets taken away.
Taken away?
Taken away.
Why?
He's made no payments.
Oh,
Makes sense.
It's like
the bank repossessed her.
it's like a contract for your phone. You have to keep paying out to have it, otherwise you get no service, not cut off, and all that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so it's that kind of anime. Basically, shenanigans involved with this tiny maid, his landlord, who I swear has a thing for him as well. So yeah, it's basically like a harem, robotic harem sort of stuff.
Oh.
Robotic harem.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, that's our story. I'm gonna say yes, it is a bit more on the ecchi side, but because it's a low age rating, like PG, like a 12 for us here in the UK, it's not as bad as what you're probably used to seeing pop up on this list.
And that I can agree with you there.
So, with all I've said at the moment with this, has Handmaid May made an impression on you two? Have you guys got any questions?
I am just so confused and bewildered at the legitimacy of that title. It is very descriptive. It is a maid that is the size of your hand. It is a handmaid.
I mean, to be fair, with a title like that, you're pretty much getting what pretty much is advertised. So I can imagine that wholesome shenanigans ensure.
Yeah, wholesome shenanigans, sure. We need more wholesome stuff.
Mm.
Oh, absolutely.
But, for the ranking, I'm going to put it in watchable. It is wholesome. I do like it. However, it's not really something that will jump to my mind when I think of harems, when I think of something wholesome. It is only roughly about 10 episodes long, I believe, if I look at my little notes here. 10 minutes long. It's from the year 2000, so time is not really that been good to it, but I did have a nice time watching it.
So basically, it's an anime you have a quick watch for something wholesome just for the short while. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think
It's like those foods where it's like, if that's the only option, then yeah, you'll have it. But if there are other options, you'll take the other options.
Yeah. Alright, next one, guys. Ultimate Muscle.
I think I've heard of this one before.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it somewhere. Although, now that I think about it, oh yeah, isn't it that one anime that got into controversy a long time ago because of how one of the fighters from Germany wore a certain uniform? Yeah. I knew it!
It's a spin-off series product of its time. That's right. For those of you who've only seen Ultimate Muscle, it's a spin-off. There is a prequel series revolving around our main character's dad, who is a big deal within the first few episodes of Ultimate Muscle, and I did not know about this for the longest time, because I only knew about the English dub of Ultimate Muscle.
Uh-huh.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And what's Ultimate Muscle? A galactic wrestling show.
So basically, it's what happens if you take WWE and you turn it into an anime.
Yeah.
Yes.
With a handful of fart jokes thrown in.
Wait, fart jokes while they're fighting in the ring or off the ring?
Is there a difference?
Good
I mean, the fart jokes are so much that in the first few episodes, while they're wrestling, father and son, there's a fart off.
Wait, what?
A fart off.
Yes.
A freaking fart off.
With moves named after the farts. So, the filthy finch. Farts sounded like birds, tweets. Or how about the gas guzzler that sounds like a racing car shooting past? Or the kaboozer, which sounds like a train. Or if you wanted to hear someone fart scales, this is a show for you. Or maybe that one episode.
I'm sorry, but hearing all of that is just making me laugh so much internally, just hearing those names.
I can't show a clip for you guys, but honestly, I don't mind pausing it now and showing you guys that scene, just so you guys can see it for yourself.
I'm just still trying to wrap my head around the fucking Finch one.
Alright, well, I'm going to show you guys. Give us a second.
One fart off an episode for later.
Okay, guys, we're back from the fart off. What did you guys think of that scene from episode 4?
I just simply want to ask the creator of that one thing.
Yeah?
Who hurt you?
Alright, so that's Hawthorne. Zaku, what's your thoughts?
All I could just think of was, yes, this was funded, this was animated, and it was voice acted. You know? And it's a thing that exists in the world.
This show was a part of my childhood. This was one of the very few anime I watched when I was a child.
You see, that probably explains the vast amount of fart jokes, because it was probably made and aimed at young children.
Well, there's over... They dubbed all seasons of it, so the main Ultimate Muscle series is like over 70 episodes long.
Damn.
So it has arcs as well.
A wrestling anime with tons of fart jokes has anime arcs. Why am I not surprised?
I mean,
The weirdest show I've seen have arcs in it.
I mean, it's not all fart.
Right.
It's not all fart jokes. There's loads of humor in there as well. Like from the characters. I mean, there's a literal character we see in the final few episodes who's called Monsieur Cheeks, because he's like whole upper side of his body is a butt.
Why am I not surprised?
Okay.
There's off the top of my head, there's a wrestler who can turn himself into a giant shoe. There's a wrestler who's a cell phone.
Hold on. How can you wrestle if you turn yourself into a cell phone?
Collect calls.
Oh God.
I guess you're gonna have to watch it and find out.
I might have to add that on my list just to get all the wacky context.
I'm gonna say it's amazing to me. I'd say the Double Own is amazing. I don't know if I put it in masterpiece. It's probably because it's been so long, but there's a load of memorable scenes in my head. Like again, the fart scenes, some of the wrestlers. All right, the next one, guys, is Love Live.
Now, I want to put this out the way quickly. I have not seen this anime, but, and this is a huge but, I only know of it through one legendary meme that I used to annoy RT on his Twitch. The whole...
Oh shit, is that where that's from?
That's
Yes.
where it's from.
Yeah, one of the idols literally does her little song and dance where she's like, Nico, Nico, ni. I can't believe I said that.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of memes link into that. It's the premises of this is basically high school idols. The first season, which is the only season I'm watching. I'm having a difficult time watching it. I'll explain why later. But basically, high school, these girls want to make an idol group so that way their school could become famous and keep going. So they made an in-school idol group, song, dancing, all that, and Yeah, it's a huge musical.
Oh,
Pretty much.
Hmm. Yeah, I gotta admit, the musics are pretty good. I do like the opening for season 1. I do not know why. Maybe it's because of the dancing, but I do like the beat of it. Yeah, I do. The story is pretty cool. Thinking about it, I'm probably, if I check my list, I'm not up to season 1. I'm probably in like the beginning part of season 2. But the reason why I'm saying like I'm struggling to watch Love Live, it's not because it's boring. It's not because it doesn't entice me. Like I said, I like some of the songs. It's because I'm not really a musical person, if that makes sense. Like, if I listen to like an opening from a TV series that I'll enjoy, it goes into my Spotify. I get the song, all that sort of stuff, and I listen to it and I enjoy it. I even learn the words of it so I can sing it. But I don't know why I just can't get into Love Live. Maybe because it's more focused towards girls than it is to guys. Maybe that's why. But I do like what I see with Love Live. I do want to continue watching it. It's not like I've permanently dropped it. But it's I don't know. I just have to be in a certain mood, I guess, to enjoy this musical. That makes sense.
I mean, to be fair, with it being like an idol anime, you do expect like the music to be like a major focus. And judging by what you said, if I'm allowed to make a prediction with how you're a bit on and off with it, would you say that it ranks somewhere between either good or watchable?
Yeah, you're right on the mark there. I'm literally putting in my head, like, where would I put it, considering all I've said? I mean, you two haven't seen Love Live, but you know of the memes. Right?
yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously, because of the memes.
Yeah, I'd say it goes into good because of that. Like I said, I love the music, and I did like the opening and all that, and I do want to see where it goes. Season 2 does start off strong with the whole new year, the group's back together, what's going to happen next, and I know it's like gone on to multiple seasons, so, and of course, like high school, like for American high school or Japanese high school, that's like 3 years, right? So,
Yeah.
and I think it's like on to the 4th or 5th season, I'm not quite sure. So, you know, like all the main casts aren't there anymore, so it's up to a new group. I do want to see that happen. How does a school idol group continue on like that, keep the legacy going? That's something that like I'm really interested in and do want to see.
I mean, fair enough. And like you said before, when it comes to like music and animes, I'm guilty of putting some on my Spotify as well if an opening or an ending kicks a lot of butt. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is also something I'm guilty of, because one of my favorites has like an idol episode, and that shit went into my playlist as soon as I found it.
Okay, the next one we're going to be watching, and I'm pretty sure all 3 of us have at least seen some of it, or one of it, or even played this game, Bakugan Battle Brawlers.
Oh, hell yeah.
I remember that on like Cartoon Network at the time when I was a kid, so I do remember it to some degree, mostly because of the fact that I did have a friend back at school when I was a kid that was obsessed with it.
Yeah, I may as well say before we go into it, this just goes under the rules. I'm gonna say it's the same as like the Pokemon rules, so we're gonna be focusing on the Battle Brawlers, not New Destroyer, not Mektanium Surge, not the new series that's out right now. Only the first iteration of Bakugan Battle Brawlers.
So just the original for us to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a gaming series like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and all that. Involves multi-dimensional creatures, battle brawlers or players get to use one of 6 attributes of their choice. Dark being Darkest, Earth which is Subterra, Water which is Aquos, Light which is Chaos, Wind that is Ventus, or Fire that is Pyro. And our 6 main characters who are part of the Battle Brawlers team go out, try and be the best. More dimensional shenanigans happen, and it's up to our main leads to save the day. And 2 worlds.
All of that through a game where you use cards and literal monster balls and vice versa.
Yeah, and I might as well say I was a huge Bakugan fan. I've got like not only English Bakugans, or like Western Bakugan, but I also got Eastern Bakugan, which I thought were fakes until I learned that they're just smaller. They're a lot more smaller than the Western Bakugan, and unlike ours, which has like 5 choices of G power, they're like set to 1. So they're tremendously weaker. So I thought I might like throw that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so big question now, guys. What do you lot think of Bakugan?
I loved it. I still have some of the toys. I've still got one from the original series. Oh, God. What was her name? The
You
actual like Bakugan had a name.
Yeah,
Like they
Bakugan.
all had names.
Yeah,
And
I
I
was-
remember having the light dragon.
the Light Dragon. Naga.
I think that was her name.
Oh, her, then it's Wyvern.
Waven, yes. I still have that toy. I still have that Bakugan somewhere.
My brother actually got Darkest Wyvern, which was a black and purple color scheme, and it looked really good.
I mean, most of my childhood memories of Bakugan stem from the fact that I did buy some of the monster balls that you roll onto the cards to flip open and that. And I remember as well, again, this is based on my childhood memory at school, I had a friend that was obsessed with it, and he used to play one of the video games that was on the PSP. I forgot what it was called, but it was like an arena battle game.
Yeah, the Battle Brawlers video game.
Yeah, it was one of them that was for the PSP. That was one of the major memories I have of that franchise.
They only made 2 video games. One based off the new Destroyer, which was my personal favourite, but I did really enjoy the first one, which is the Bakugan Battle Brawlers game. I had that on DS and PS3. I just really liked it. I remember we got a hold, me and my brother got a hold of an Action Replay, and we managed to get ourselves multiple copies of our partner Bakugan Leonidas, because you can only have like one of him, of the attribute you chose to play. But we had all 6, and we could even have the bad guy Bakugan, which I was very happy about.
Ooh.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a Pyrus player myself, so usually Pyrus. Later on, I became a Darkest though. I became a Darkest player. But yeah, so where do you guys think of Bakugan Battle Brawlers, the first season?
I haven't seen it for ages, but it's gonna go on good.
Same here. I haven't seen it in a long time as well. And if I'm allowed to say, when it comes to like animes where it's like you have these kids going on adventures and using the monsters to summon out and, you know, save the day and all that, is Bakugan my favorite of that genre? No, there are much better options. But for what it was, I didn't mind it. I had some fun with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I'm gonna, even though it's not like the rules saying we're not thinking about linking it to the other seasons, but I might as well say this. This one follows the real life game a lot more closer than all the other iterations, with one little change to the rules, and that was they could use multiple ability cards, which might make sense. Yeah, it makes the game a bit more interesting. I just kind of wish though it was a bit more closer to the rules. Like with Yu-Gi-Oh, at least then they follow the rules. If there's any changes to the rules, at least they explain why. But for that, and of course, Monster Smackdowns. Who doesn't like a Monster Smackdown show?
Obviously, yeah. I mean, anime where monsters duke it out, it was my shit when I was a kid, you know.
Yeah.
Which is why I put it in. It bumps from good to amazing for me. The final battle is one of my all-time favorite anime battles of all time. It feels like the pinnacle for me when it comes to some monster battles, especially when it shows the growth between our main character Dan Kuso and his partner Bakugan Drago.
I'm probably going to have to revisit Bakugan after this to see if it actually holds up for it to be in the amazing tier, because, like I said, I haven't seen it in a long time, but now that you brought it up and we discussed it, I might be in the mood just to revisit it sometime.
We got you so far interested in Ultimate Muscle and Bakugan. So I thought this list is agreeing with you, which is surprising.
Very surprising.
Normally you're like, get this away from me!
But this one, I'm just like, Yes, I'm sold.
Next up, guys, is one we're revisiting from our very first list, KonoSuba, Goddess Blessing on this wonderful world.
Ah, yes, KonoSuba.
I actually haven't seen this. I've only seen quick clips of it and quick clips from the movie.
Oh, I thought you saw it. Maybe we should rewatch it all together.
Yes, let's drag Hawthorne along for the madness feast. It will be perfect.
But for those who don't know what we're talking about, at the time of our first anime tier list video, which was 2 years ago, Zaku never saw KonoSuba. He knew about the comedy, he knew about the meta humor.
I know of the memes and that, and I can say with full confidence that after all these years, the good friend here, RT Duel, showed me a ton of KonoSuba.
We watched both seasons, we watched the OVAs, we even watched the movie altogether, which at that time, back in the first video, the movie did not release, but we watched it. And I'd say my opinions haven't changed really. Should we go over the synopsis again though for Hawthorne here and our audience?
I'd say so, just in case.
Might be worth it.
Yeah, well, I said last time, so Zaku, do you want to talk about the synopsis of our lovely story here for a change?
Okay, I'll try my best, fingers crossed. So basically, KonoSuba follows our major protagonist, Kazuma, who is a very, very, very... what's the word?
Neat.
Short and neat, yes, thank you very much. Who, one day in the real world, almost gets killed, but because of the scenario where he almost got hit by a truck, he basically meets a very powerful goddess. But the goddess in question is one of our other major characters that is very notorious for being quote-unquote useless, Aqua. You want to take over, Reese?
Yeah, Aqua says, we can give, instead of going to heaven, which is boring, why don't you go be reincarnated in this new world and go on great adventures trying to save it from the Demon King? But since Aqua was being an absolute, how can we put this nicely for our goddess?
Airhead.
An arse.
Exactly. Kazuma decides he'll take her with him, which she does not want, but has no choice, because those are the rules.
And because of that, both of them basically get isekai, of course, into this fantasy world, where, as the show and the OVAs and the movie goes on, we see lots and lots of crazy shenanigans, and they get joined in by two new party members that we all know, Darkness and, of course, Megumi. A wizard that really, 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 really loves explosions.
Which we've actually brought up in our fictional crushes video. Go check that out. And one thing that I really love about KonoSuba is the meta humor. Like, a lot of the voice actors do a lot of ad-lipping during the show. And you just know that the voice actors have a lot of fun with those ad-lippings, getting really into character.
I think one scene from that I know is my absolute favorite, and it's gonna sound really cliche, is the gender equality scene.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Kazuma is king of gender equality. All hail Kazuma.
He yearns for it, and we all agree for true gender equality.
Alright, so I think it goes without saying that it still holds its place in Masterpiece.
Oh, I definitely put it in Masterpiece now that I've seen it all in its entirety a long time ago.
And I may as well say, we haven't said this in the last time, because we didn't know back then, but now we can say it. There is a Megumi spin-off prequel series that is coming out, and I really can't wait to see it.
Same here.
Sounds interesting. Ding 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 ding.
Oh, definitely. And like as you said, Reese, after when this is done, we're going to make Hawthorne watch all of KonoSuba.
Definitely.
Help me.
Alright guys, the next one is How Not to Summon a Demon Lord.
Again, I think I've heard of this one.
I've heard of it somewhere, but continue onwards.
Basically, these two characters in an alternate world want to summon a great and powerful creature, but they end up summoning a gamer who takes his avatar role as an all-powerful demon lord. And instead of him becoming the slave in the master slave summoning chant, they become the slaves instead. So he ends up getting isekai'd out of nowhere and gets 2 women as his slaves right at the beginning. It's like, wait, what? This is not how it's supposed to go.
Okay.
Yep, even I'm like, what the heck is this?
And there's also, before we go continuing on, this is an ecchi show.
Why am I not surprised?
So now that these 2 girls are servants, he chose to accompany them to try and get rid of the spell. Learns more about these 2. Learns that one of them is going to, quote unquote, give birth to an all-powerful creature that he wants to try and save. Not the creature, the girl. But think of it like a whole egg situation. She's the shell. So
Okay.
she will die, sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure birth will be the right word for people who have seen it. I'm not going to say why. So, and of course, this world is similar to the game that he played, so he knows a lot more than they let on, and it turns into a big adventure story with this all-powerful demon lord and 2 waifus.
Okay, fair enough.
Typical
Alright.
isekai shenanigans.
Yeah, I gotta say though, I did really enjoy it. I picked this up randomly on Blu-ray, and I enjoyed it.
I can definitely tell.
Yeah, there is a bit of action, but it's definitely a comedy sort of show.
Yeah.
So get a good laugh
So
out
more,
of it.
yeah, more focus on the jokes than the action sequences. I mean, for the kind of show that it is, I can see why it chose to go down that route.
Yeah, we do get more characters joining in. Some stories are pretty amazing. I'm just trying to remember the stories because it's been a while. I know I should have researched into this. Was doing research, but if you guys seen the update video, I did get extremely ill, so all that research ended up being useless.
Understandable as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I did really enjoy it, and I do highly recommend it.
So would you say that because of how you're praising it, would you say it's possibly either a masterpiece or amazing?
I'm gonna put in amazing just because I can barely suffer remember. If I rewatched it, I could probably change my mind again. But at the moment, it's going in amazing just to be on the safe side.
Fair enough.
Alright, next up, which I think we're all going to be talking about this in Strives, Mirai Nikki, or as we know it, the Future Diary.
Isn't that the anime where the girl in that one is a fucking psychopath?
Yes, a yandere.
Yeah.
Yuki!
I just love how you two are just like, Miki.
Don't worry, Yuki. I'll protect you, my love.
Oh god. Yeah, yeah, I'm starting to remember. Yeah, it is that yandere show. I'm remembering it now. It's that psychopath with the pink hair that has the diary.
I am fine with a lot of things, but this is not okay.
So who wants to explain Future Diary? Who wants to take the bullet here?
Well, I actually haven't seen it.
Same here. I only know of it because of certain clips online, so I think that only goes back to you, RT.
Okay! Future Diary, self-explanatory. There's about 12 contestants. The almighty god of time is dying. So he gives these 12 contestants future diaries, each with their own power, based upon the diaries he's already had. Yuki's diary, our main character, usually puts his diary in at 10-minute intervals. So his diary gives him 10-minute intervals into the future. I think it's 10 minutes. I'm going to say 10 minutes. Meanwhile, our Yuno's diary, our main yandere, mainly writes a diary about her beloved, so she knows whatever he's doing in her future diary. So the aim of the contest is to, I think it becomes like this because of other people. Kill all the other diary holders to ascend to become God.
Oh,
So-
last man standing.
Yeah,
so it becomes
basically a battle. Sorry, so it's basically a battle royale scenario.
Yep, to become God, using the power of their diaries. I should point out here, if your diary breaks, you die.
Okay.
So, like,
for-
if a diary gets torn or that, you instantly die.
well, yes, torn, or if your diary is in your phone, if your phone breaks, you die. If you write your diary on a scroll, if that scroll gets destroyed, you die.
So basically, keep the diary to yourself and don't let anyone get their hands on it, otherwise you're fucked.
Yeah. So, let's go. Let's continue on with the story. I gotta say, it is intense, Future Diary. It does get really intense. There's also betrayal, not from diary holders, family as well. So, shocking. Even a child joins in this game, so no one is safe.
Wait, what?
Yeah, a child is a diary holder.
This anime is
I-
basically the manifestation of shit got from 0 to 100 really quick.
Oh, and the ending. Oh my god, I'm not going to say what happens in the ending, but it had me right on my edge, especially with how they done. And technically, the ending is an OVA. They didn't put the ending in the main series. You have to watch the OVA.
Okay.
to
So
know
the
how it
OVA is your true conclusion for the anime.
Yeah, if you don't watch the OVA, it's a bit of bittersweet ending, and you're left with like a tease of how it ended.
Right.
Yeah. And what's kind of cool as well is like mini series in between episodes that like goes over the other diary holders, gives you information like how they got their diary and other bits and pieces. So you learn about side characters as well, even your bad guy. But then again, who is the good guy in this series? Who can you say is a good guy?
And judging by how you discussed this, would it be fair for me to predict that you're putting this in Masterpiece?
Yeah, it honestly is a masterpiece story. I say it's like up to your, it's up to your cup of tea. It is mainly like within the, it's like psychological horror sort of thing that this falls under.
I mean,
So-
I'm quite the horror person myself, so
Yeah.
that should be something I'll probably put on my watch list in the future.
Now that's free. All right, the next one is the melody of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Oh, I've heard this one.
Same here. Same here.
But you two
One of
haven't seen it.
the, it's one of the big ones, isn't it? Like one of the ones where it's like everyone has seen it at some point.
Yeah. It's infamous for what happens in season 2.
Oh, I think I know. I know.
What do you know?
Was it called Endless 8?
Yes.
Where the characters are reliving the same day. Like, it's basically Groundhog Day, the anime.
But what is Melody of Haruhi Suzumiya? We deal with a god who doesn't know she's a god.
Interesting.
She lives an everyday normal high school life, but she wants to see psychics, she wants to see aliens, she wants to see people from the future. So she brings those in, but doesn't realise she brings them in. But an everyday normal guy gets brought into all this and has to help said psychic, alien, and future person to hide to make sure she doesn't realise she is a god.
Damn.
So, yeah, a lot of shenanigans happen, time travel stuff, psychic stuff, trying to hide the fact that she's possessing the power of God.
Stuff.
Yeah, all that sort of things, yeah. The series finale of this was a movie, and that's how I got into Melody of Haruhi Suzumiya, because I didn't know it was a series until I actually finished watching the movie. It is fun and enjoyable. It even got a spin-off Different Dimension series, focusing around one of the side characters as a normal, everyday girl.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do you guys think of after hearing all that?
Sounds quite mad.
Sounds alright. It sounds like something that, if it's the English dub, you can just put on in the background while you do other things.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really that easy to explain. Like, how can you explain that this series revolves around a girl who's God, but she doesn't know she's a God, and people who trying to hide the fact that she is God? Like,
I'm not quite sure.
Like, if she said she doesn't want, like, this world, that means the world around you is going to start crumbling apart.
She's gonna probably fucking figure it out then.
Yeah. It's almost like it's a plot point for an episode.
Foreshadowing?
Clever use of foreshadowing, indeed.
Anyway, ranking. What would you guys think an anime like this would be?
I'm gonna say you're gonna put it in at the top of amazing or in masterpiece.
I'm gonna say amazing is my prediction.
You are correct. It is amazing. I wouldn't mind watching it, but be careful of the endless 8. When you hit it, just watch one and then jump ahead a few episodes. Alright, next up, One Punch Man.
Finally, one I can properly comment on.
Yes.
I think, if memory serves, we mainly talked about Season 1 when this last popped up. But since then, Season 2 has been dropped. So, we can talk about Season 1 and 2, I think.
So we're gonna combine
Hey,
them
we're
both
season
into one
1.
discussion.
Yeah, I know probably a lot of people want to talk about like Season 2 separately because it's done by a different studio, but it's a continuing storyline, so I think it's understandable if we like continue on, like thinking Season 1 and 2 are linked.
I mean, it makes sense considering how, like you said, it continues on the story, even if the studios have changed. But again, we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah. So, who wants to explain what One Punch Man is?
I can go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it, man.
Okay, so One Punch Man follows the story of one Saitama, the titular One Punch Man, and his ability to what else but kill everything in one punch. He's a superhero. There are other superheroes, and just hijinks ensue.
Yeah, we might as well point out that it mainly focuses on the comedy. You would think someone who can single punch everything into oblivion will be a boring storyline, but it focuses more on comedy and it does really well.
And I think I mentioned this before when we did our first anime TLS video a few years ago, right? I think I said it before and I'll say it again, hoping it comes from memory, is that it makes Saitama really relatable because instead of like putting him in situations where he easily wins battles where you think it would get boring, he gets put in these real life situations where he does his shopping and all that, where his powers aren't always going to be perfect for it. Like, for example, in one episode, he struggles to kill a mosquito. A freaking mosquito.
I say since we talked about Season 1 a lot, what about Season 2? Would you say Season 2 is worth it? Pretty good?
Oh boy. Now,
I haven't seen it, but the only reason I would see it is because we get more Fubuki, we get more Blizzard, and I am an avid Blizzard fan.
fair enough. I mean, when it comes to like Season 2 from Little Knowledge, again, I did say this before, so we'll address it again. Yes, the animation change between Season 1 and 2 is very notable. Yes, Season 2's animation isn't as good as Season 1, if we're going to be honest. But for what it is, I didn't actually mind Season 2. I did like it. Not as much as Season 1, but I liked it nonetheless.
Yeah, Season 1 art style, it was more like sharp, like texture and all that. Season 2 is like more like comic, more manga accurate, which I can get behind. I kind of enjoy that. I'd say yeah, nothing has to be overly detailed to enjoy it, and I think it fits like some of the storyline, what it does very well.
I mean, considering how, again, Season 1 was done by Studio Madhouse, they do know how to deliver some solid-ass animation in that.
Yeah.
Of course, Season 2 does falter a bit, but with it being a studio change, I think it's kind of to be expected. But
Yeah.
like I said, I didn't hate it as much as everyone else. I mean, again, not as good as the first season in terms of animation quality, but it was actually alright.
Yeah, I like that Season 2 pretty much sets up a huge, big bad we know we'll have to face. The League of Villain, Wait, no, that's My Hero. A villain organization full of monsters, a monster association, and them turning humans into monsters. That just shows that they're like setting something huge up, which I can't wait to see what happens. Hopefully we get more of that in season 3.
I just liked the kind of one-off villains we got in season 1 because that felt more like a serial superhero show, which I absolutely loved.
Yeah. So, ranking time. Where would you guys put it?
Oh, this is hard because, like you said, we're gonna judge it as a whole, like seasons 1 and 2 together. Like, am I allowed to give my initial impressions of what I would do if I ranked both season 1 and 2 differently?
Yeah. Tell us the difference.
Yeah, like season 1, obviously, I would say is masterpiece. Again, season 2, because of the animation change and all that, which is very noticeable, but still fairly entertaining, I would put it in good. But if I had to combine the two, if it helps even it out, would you say that One Punch Man as a whole with season 1 and 2 be amazing since it balances it out?
Yeah, in between.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh, I think we're in agreement. Let's put it in amazing as a whole. But separately, yeah, 2 different columns.
Season 1 of One Punch Man will always be masterpiece in my heart.
Yes.
Alright, next one, guys, we're going to be looking at Rent a Girlfriend, which at the time of this recording has gone up to season 2. There is a season 3 in the works, I believe. And this one has appeared before, and I didn't really think much of it.
Yeah, I've heard of it as well. And as I mentioned in the last collaboration a year ago, I was just like, it's an anime that says exactly what it says on the tin. It's Rent a Girlfriend.
Yep. Just as it says on the tin. But for the story-wise, we follow our main protagonist who got dumped pretty hard, but wanted to rent a girlfriend to better himself, but they thought she was completely faked, gave her a bad review. They try to go again. She tries to please him based on the review, but she has a go at him because he's still not satisfied. Next thing they know, that their lives have been intertwined far more than they realize. Their grandmothers, who's in hospital, have known each other, so shenanigans ensue. They learn that they live next to each other, and now they gotta put up this facade that they are actually in a couple for their grandmother's sake, and yeah, all sorts happen. They learn more about each other. He learns more about the girlfriend whose name I'm trying to remember, Suzuka, something like that, and he starts to actually develop feelings for her, even trying to make her dream come true.
Now, I do remember... I'm sorry, I'll let you go first.
Okay, so I'm going to be brutally honest here. I got Rent a Girlfriend confused with My Dress Up Darling for the longest time until I realized they were 2 different shows.
Yeah.
My Dress Up Darling is another series I want to watch. I just haven't got round to it yet.
I have seen a few episodes of it. It is really good, and it has no need to be that beautifully animated.
Yeah, we've got to make sure that not to get sidetracked. We're trying to talk about Rent a Girlfriend here, not My Dress Up
I
Darling.
know.
Yeah. I was just about to bring up, if I'm allowed to bring this up early, I can remember that the last time we discussed this, Reese, you put Rent a Girlfriend originally in watchable. Am I right?
Yeah.
So, since I can imagine that you're bringing it back, are there any updates on the show that you want to share?
Well, season 2 has been dropped, and I was regrettably watching it through, but I got a bit more and more interested with season 2. I remember I was going on holiday once with my grandma when the last episode got dubbed. Well, coming back home on the train, I was watching season 2, and I just got engrossed into what was going on, because the final few episodes were more focused on the girl, Suzuka, and her backstory, her dream, why she became a rental girlfriend, and I fell in love with the series. I kind of wished we learned more about this in the previous season. Maybe we did, and I never really fully noticed, because it was more focused around the guy than the girl. But now that we got more information about this girl, I got more and more engrossed. It kind of makes me want to go back and watch season 1 from the beginning through to season 2 to see if I get like a full overall opinion. But season 2 definitely changed my opinion dramatically, and it's getting me looking forward to season 3.
So it's a season that makes you appreciate the overall show a lot more upon another watch through.
Yeah, and I like that it's also focused a bit more on the girls as well, because I don't know what's going on. Like season 1, it set up for the guy, which don't get me wrong, kind of a good idea, because he's the broken one, and then slowly go towards the girls. Like you learn it from the guy's point of view. He's starting to learn more about the girls and be more self-centered, if that makes sense. Like he's got to remember that these girls are people too. Sort of like storyline, which I can get. Yeah. I just think they were either being a bit slow, or it could have been just improved upon just a little bit more. Because I think I said this in like season 1. You kind of like, you kind of like understand with the girls like why she dumped him. But then in season 2, it's like you start to feel a bit more sympathetic for the guy, and you start rooting for Suzuka. So, yeah, since you two haven't seen Rent a Girlfriend, and I may as well say this, just because it's going into good. It's gone from watchable to good. Maybe if I rewatch it all the way through, give my opinion, it's probably going to go up to amazing. If it was up to me, like the final episode, if I was going to say like final episodes would go straight into masterpiece or maybe amazing.
Yeah.
Just because like how they did the story. But at the moment it's going into good with my limited monkey brain. But it's honestly still amazing. I would now honestly rewatch it. I even throw it in our little watch party to watch together. Alright, the next one we're going to be looking at is known as Masugana HXH. Or, for people watching, the English version of the title, even though it's not been dubbed, is Hybrid X Heart Magias Academy Ataraxia.
Now that is one I never heard of, nor have I seen.
Well, I probably did butcher the titles a bit. I do apologise. I am dyslexic. I struggle to read. Help me.
I mean, to be fair, you're not the only one with dyslexia.
Yeah.
So at least there's that.
Yeah, but this has not been dubbed. I'm not surprised why it hasn't been dubbed, really. But then again, I've seen a bunch of stuff that's been dubbed that I question. And it's another anime that infuriates me a bit. So, here is why. We follow our main character being transferred to this new school by his sister, only for it to get attacked by another worlder. This girl who he comes across starts stripping into this battle gear, who then says a magical word that makes more weapons appear around her, and she goes off to fight. We learn that, yeah, he has the same kind of system built into him, however, it's extremely weak. Not made for combat, even though he can do combat. This girl goes crashing down, and he's thinking, okay, I gotta help her. He gets a call from his sister saying, fondle her.
What?
Yeah, I'm with you off on what?
I was waiting for that reaction. Yes, fondle her. Give her back her energy by fondling her. And it worked. She unlocked a new level of power, defeated the enemies. She looks back at him and like, what just happened? Next thing you know, there's a big press conference, and the big highlight of the press conference is, from his own sister, all the girls, if they want to have their energy replenished, must go to my brother, who will gladly help you with that. And he's like, wait, what?
Yep. What?
Bro, you and me both. What?
For the first 5 minutes of the episode, I must say the first episode, we're in like the final battle sort of thing. 5 minutes, and it's him helping the girls recharge.
Okay.
That's a lot to take in.
Okay, yeah.
You enjoy making us lose brain cells, don't you, Artie?
You saw me go through my anime list, clicking randomize, picking out the animes. You saw my anime list. Pick this out, not me. My anime list. Pick this out. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
You sound like you're going through immense pain right now.
Trying to justify why I watched it.
I mean, it's my anime list, you know. It is what it is.
I may as well say, I've got my anime list like right up here. Its overall score is a 6.13, but if you go to the comments, it's like 10 out of 10. Oh, do you want to hear the reason why I said I was mad at this?
Go on.
It's set up to be a season. It's set up to be a season 2 because it's left at like a bit of like a who's this character sort of thing. But like there is no season 2.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
there is no season 2 yet.
No, I don't think there is going to be because the manga started in 2016, which is where this came out. The manga ended in 2019.
Okay.
So it's been 4 years and no sign of a season 2. It's been over 4 years. It's been like 7 to 8 years.
So then, with all that laid on the table, where are you going to rank this?
I may as well say, on my anime list, but I think this could be a joke. I ranked it a 10 out of 10 on my anime list.
But you ranked it 10 out of 10! You what?
You what?
Yeah, you know what? Cue that SpongeBob clip where the guy's like, "You what?"
I think it was a joke.
Yeah.
I did watch like a couple of scenes. I was like, wait, what? I enjoyed this. But yeah, I did. It was a bit interesting, to say the least. So I'm gonna give. I'm not gonna put a masterpiece here, maybe because I think I need to watch it all the way through in its entirely. But I'm gonna put in amazing for now, because it's an interesting concept and there's a big old mystery behind it. So I think that's why I put in masterpiece, like the mystery part of it. Like, and I also want to see a season 2. Like, how does it continue off that mystery? Who is this character that called our main heroine sister? After that degeneracy, we're going into some degeneracy with Maken-Ki.
Never seen nor heard of it, but I'm afraid to know what this is all about.
I think I've heard of it before.
You heard of it?
But I've never seen of it. Like, just as a passing thing. Like, someone just mentioning it randomly in a conversation.
And that's how you know this anime, because of some scene.
Not some scene, more like some story. Because it revolves around our perverted main character who ends up going to a co-ed school, which is again just started turning co-ed, so there's a lot more females than there are males. So, you know the reason why he chose this school, for he can live the life of luxury. But these girls can call upon a powerful item called a Maken, which gives them magical abilities, depending upon the item and the person. So I believe he joins like a council, like either the student council or the group who mainly take care of problems relating to those kind of items, which is all predominantly female with only 2 males, him and his friend who joined, to try and sort the problems while he tries to find a Maken and tries to help these women while sorting out his other goal.
Okay.
Noted.
There's also dorms, so he's sharing like a dorm room with 3 other women.
Interesting.
One of them, which I believe is like his childhood friend, who likes him.
Oh, of course, as a childhood friend.
Always the childhood friends in anime.
And there's a girl, I'm trying to remember if it's right, saying like she's his fiance or wife, future wife, something like that.
Mm.
So all that's happening. There's different type of girls, and there's always like take a pick on which one to make your waifu.
Take your pick,
Okay.
basically.
I'm pretty sure you guys are just like, can we end this now? Can we go to the next one?
I mean, I'm still absorbing all what I've heard.
Same here.
Have you got anything to say?
You want to say something, Hawthorne?
I don't think I've got anything to say.
I mean, to be... I'm sorry.
Other than why are there two etchies in a row?
Probably.
Yeah, I do kind of want to know that.
But again, Hawthorne, as we said, I was there to verify the picks since he was bidding them at random on my anime list. I was there.
Yep, I haven't forgotten that.
So with all that described, Reese, where would you rank this? Since, again, we have not seen nor heard of it.
Yeah, I might as well say I haven't actually given us a score yet. I think I've only just like started giving things scores. So, where to put it? I'm gonna put it in probably good, because this is something that hasn't really popped into my mind until we actually started like randomizing the list to see what to use. So, I imagine it's probably interesting because it's martial arts thing, so you get to see some fighting action, throwing some etchiness as who knows what's going to appear on the screen. And I think there was like a bit of a love story thrown in there for good measure. So, interesting. But I'm going to say good for now, considering I can barely remember it, but I did have some fun watching it. Next up is one I'm going to have some interesting time to talk about. AHO-GIRL.
And by interesting, is this one of those that has happy fun times, as I'm predicting?
No.
Off you.
Just another etchy.
No. It's not really etchy. No.
Oh,
it's
so
not.
what is it then?
It's evolved around an idiot.
Okay, that's interesting.
And a genius guy.
Idiot
Okay.
and a genius. I wonder where this is going.
So, it revolves around a stupid girl who's an idiot and obsessed with bananas, chasing after a genius.
Okay, first of all, why is she obsessed with bananas and why is she chasing a genius?
I don't know why, but you can apparently distract her very easily with a banana.
Okay.
So basically, just grab yourself a huge barrel of Donkey Kong bananas and throw them at her, and she'll be happy.
Yeah. How much of an idiot is she? Well, she would give the idea of like standing on a swing, swinging on it, going, yeah, this will give me the extra leap to try and get something, and then start enjoying swinging on the swing instead. That's how much of an idiot she is. She's so stupid that when our genius and her met up as kids, they're neighbours by the way, she snuck into his bedroom saying that she's going to be his future wife and start sleeping with him in the same bed.
That's not at all creepy.
And during the final episode, this is seared into my brain by the way, she told him and showed him that she's still wearing the same panties as the day they first met. And
Wait, what?
Yeah. She's wearing child panties.
I think I'm starting to remember this meme somewhere now. I don't know why, but it just popped in my head.
So, would anyone like to guess what his response was?
Wait a minute, I'm trying to remember. Does he? I'm trying my best. Do you want to take over half of what I think?
I can respond. I can tell you right now with one meme.
Does he throw a punch at her?
Yeah.
How did I guess? I remember. Yes, I did remember seeing that scene.
He one-punched her into the atmosphere. This anime is pretty much One Punch Man and KonoSuba fused together. Gender equality, one punching.
Yes.
Yes, I remember. I'm starting to remember seeing that clip online now. I'm remembering the meme where he like does a One Punch Man thing.
Yeah. Every time she does something stupid, he one punches her.
Yeah, it's all coming back because I always remember that one meme where he does that while having the song "You Say Run" from My Hero Academia playing in the background for a laugh.
Yeah. So, it's so stupid. He doesn't even like her. He's just putting up with her.
But so it's stupid, but in the best way possible.
Yeah.
So would you say, judging by your impressions, would you say that you enjoyed it to be in good?
I can't remember if it's been dubbed or not. That's the one thing I'm trying to remember. So I'm going to put it in good.
Again with the predictions.
Next one, guys, is my wife is the student council president.
Oh, it's one of those long named animes, isn't it?
Well, short, long names, yeah. It hasn't hit that area yet where they put the synopsis in the title. But yeah, my wife is the student council president.
So our main protagonist is married to, according to anime, the most powerful woman in the world.
A student council president.
Not in like that sort of sense. It's not that kind of anime. It's an everyday, like a slice of life anime in a way. A slice of life comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, so no superpowers, no isekaiing, everyday normal life. But I think I should explain what happens within the first episode. It basically starts off with the election of who's going to be the student council president. Our wife here, let's use a quote unquote so you guys can remember what we're talking about, won by a landslide majority because she wants proper sex education for the rest of her students. And she then throws condoms into the students' audience.
What?
But
Yeah, to sum it up, you're now student council president. Have some free condoms.
This is one of those horny animes, isn't it?
The episodes are only 8 minutes long.
so what? She wants comprehensive sex education.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is just like I said, the extreme version of it in anime form. I mean, I'm just thinking about it, just making me go, what the hell?
By the way, her boyfriend's the vice president, I believe. I might be wrong about that. And they live together.
You know,
Makes sense. They are husband and wife.
it is what it is.
So of course, he's the responsible to. She gets off the impression that she's like down to earth, but no. I must also say there is like one episode that implies that they're going to do the Happy Fun Times. But I say imply because we never know if they actually done or not.
So basically, it's like that, but just off screen.
Yeah.
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 I mean, the
It's
implications.
not actually shown.
Yeah, I mean, the implications pretty much say it themselves.
I mainly remember the comedy part of it, but it's only 8 minutes long, so I doubt the rude parts of it is going to be like that much.
Right.
Alright, so I guess we should get to rating it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a good one for the laughs, but for some reason I put it at a high rate. Maybe again this is something I'm gonna have to like rewatch, and all that just because of the comedy part of it. But I do remember enjoying myself, having a good laugh over some of the things that happened. And finally, guys, we're gonna end it on a high note, one that we're all gonna be happy to talk about. Digimon.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, indeed.
We're going to be mainly talking about the first iteration of Digimon, Digimon Adventures, 1999. I believe that's what it is. So we're not going to include O2, Tamers, Data Squad, Frontier, Tri, Fusion, none of that. Kizuna, just the first iteration of Digimon.
There's the first series by itself.
So who wants to explain what Digimon's about? The first one.
7 kids get transported into the digital world after getting magic Tamagotchi shot at them.
That's a pretty good description.
Yeah,
That is what the Digivice is, though. They're magic Tamagotchis.
Yeah, well, Digimon are like... Aren't Digimon linked to Tamagotchi? Or do they come?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, like Tamagotchi's for boys.
Yeah, Tamagotchi for boys.
Yeah, that's what like the original marketing was for.
Mm.
So yeah, they all get transported into the digital world, meet their Digimon partners, go and save the digital world, try and get home, then go save the digital world again.
It was basically
Yep.
it was basically the 90s Isekai for a slot.
Yeah.
Going
And,
to a digital world.
and I'll say that from back then, and I think it's even showing it now, it has a huge rivalry with Pokemon.
I mean, to be fair, both
So-
franchises do have the titles end with Mon at the end, like Pokemon and Digimon.
Yeah. Some
It
people say
still does kind of have that.
yeah, even though Digimon kind of fell away from the West for a bit, it came back strong with the card game and the video games as well, being Cyber Sleuth, and which I really enjoyed, and which made me more
Yeah.
of a Digimon fan than a Pokemon fan. But yeah, we should still focus more on the original continuity. So, do you guys have any fond memories of the original Digimon?
I'm going to start off by saying, would it be best for me to say that the one thing that made this anime very iconic for me, as well as everyone else, when it came to the West, the opening.
Oh yeah,
The opening is such a blast.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
But then we were robbed from the absolute majesty that is Butterfly.
Oh, Butterfly was Butterfly was the original Japanese opening theme for Digimon, which I didn't know much about as a kid.
No.
Years later, as I discovered the rest of the tracks, boy, have I missed out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it wasn't common to like dub openings back then, or was it to like use the Japanese versions? It was more normal to like either make your own sort of opening, which Pokemon did, Digimon did, Yu-Gi-Oh did, a lot of animes did back then. Which is probably why we got like a lot of bangers. I know there was a period of time where they did try and dub the opening songs of anime. I know like One Piece is famous to have like the first 4 openings dubbed, but that didn't last long.
And also, we can't forget about the fact that the English opening for Digimon was such a banger that it got even incorporated for the very, very nostalgic and notorious Digi-Rap for the Digimon movie that I discussed in the past.
Yeah,
Digi-Rap.
which is honestly one of my favorite things to listen to, the Digi-Rap. Alright, so I think we're in agreement. Should we put Digimon in Masterpiece?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I mean, considering that a lot of animes I've seen, where you get your taste expanded and all that. I mean, I still have a huge spot for Digimon. And now that I think about it, I probably would put it up there as well. Now, yeah, I agree. Put it up there. In Masterpiece.
You were slowly fighting yourself there, weren't you? Putting in Masterpiece.
For a brief moment, but only because I realized that throughout my childhood, I even now remembered playing Digimon Rumble that was on the PlayStation 1 years ago.
Yeah.
I just remember playing Digimon World 1 on the PlayStation 1.
I mean, for me, my child Digimon nostalgia was mainly the shows. I did play Rumble Arena 1 and 2, which I fell in love with. I did play All Stars on the PS3, which is like a sequel, like a semi-sequel to Rumble Arena. It follows the same premises, but it's not the same, if that makes sense. What else? Again, I mainly then got back into Digimon, Cyber Sleuth, and Hacker's Memory, the PS4, and then the Nintendo Switch, and the Complete Edition. I do want to play that all the way through again, because I really did enjoy it. And we did it, guys! We got through another anime list! My god! Did we go through another list with another Never Again not getting added to?
Surprisingly, yeah, this is the second time that has happened.
Wow,
Only the second time, though.
Only the second time. The first one is infamous for having one Never Again. We're on a roll here. Yeah, really. My MS is giving us some good ones, but my god, it likes to give me a heart attack. It likes to make me struggle to talk about it with you guys.
Yeah.
And this time around, you got pretty lucky.
I got pretty lucky, but I got thrown under the bus with Hybrid Heart, and I want to say Student Council President and Maken-Ki as well, because I forgot Student Council President was that kind of show. I mainly remembered it from the comedy, not the other parts. So, Zaku, might as well ask you first. Out of all these anime, are there any anime that stand out to you that you want to jump in and watch?
I mean, I guess for simplicity's sake, I might have to revisit the ones that we discussed about throughout my childhood, like probably Bakugan, and of course, we can't forget about Digimon. You know, that was a great nostalgic one.
Alright, then, throughout all the new ones you've learnt then, is there any that stand out to you that you'll want to watch or give a try?
I would probably, now that I think about it, I would try to probably get Future Diary on my watch list, since I am a sucker for like dark fantasies and all that.
Alright. Hawthorne, is there any that stands out to you that you want to give a try?
Definitely gonna have to give KonoSuba a proper try.
Excellent. Alright guys, we're gonna leave it there. Thank you again to everyone who joined, who's giving us a watch. Thank you Ironzaku and Hawthorne for joining in with us. If you guys enjoyed this list, give us a thumbs up, even smash that subscribe button so you never miss out on a future video. But if you want more recommendations or you want to see us go through more suffering, try our other two animes watch list videos. We're doing this yearly, so be sure to enjoy it whenever it pops up. Or if you've got an anime recommendation you want to give us, give us a comment down below. And that's going to be it, guys. I'm going to force these two to either watch KonoSuba or my wife's doing Council President. That's going to be fun to watch. So until next time, guys, this is us signing out. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later.